Hey everybody, it's Craig with the Laboratory to Combat Human Trafficking. I'm here today with a little extended content from our We Imagine live event earlier this month. You can actually watch the full live stream at combathumantrafficking.org/live. But right now I'm joined for a few minutes with one of our guest artists from the event, Chelsea Lewinski. There she is. If you don't know her, you probably will soon. Chelsea Lewinski is a Denver-based studio artist, illustrator, muralist, graphic designer, quickly becoming one of the most respected names in Denver street art and culture, and actually beyond Denver too. She's just returned from Puerto Rico, where she's up to some new projects as well. So we're so glad we could talk today. Hi, Chelsea. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, it's so great to
Good.
have you. And really today we're just taking a quick minute to learn about this original piece you created for our We Imagine Live event. If you haven't seen it yet, you're going to see it in a second. It's called El Pájaro. And I thought we'd actually have you share a bit about your process and inspiration as we watch this sweet little time lapse you created of El Pájaro's creation. So I'm going to roll that now, Chelsea, and just invite you to share a little bit about this piece, and then we'll chat for a minute after. Sound good? Here it
Yeah,
goes.
thank you. Recently in my life, I've been kind of going through some hardships, and I really wanted to create a piece that showed strength and resiliency and empowerment and a little bit of protection as well. So I chose to draw this woman who might be blinded by, I don't know, darkness or whatever life chose to throw at her. And despite that darkness, she is able to come out and seek inner peace and a safe haven within her, within her heart. And the bird behind her, which actually ends up coming forth later on in my process. But birds often represent freedom and protection and a long life. And specifically, this bird, a parrot, was seen as a divine bird by emperors. And yeah, I wanted to bring some color to that as well. And I really just wanted this piece to just show resiliency overall and strength.
Excellent. We'll check it out as it rolls here. Sweet. Back with Chelsea Lewinski. Really incredible to see that process of your creation of El Pájaro. This original piece you created for our We Imagine live event in support of our anti-trafficking work at LCHT. We do have an auction running for this piece the next few days, and if you're seeing this on social, if it's still going on, you'll see a link for that. It's going through next Tuesday here. But since we have Chelsea with us, I thought we could chat for just another quick minute about you and your work. And Chelsea, I just wanted to follow up with a couple quick questions about your work in
Mhm.
the community, particularly your murals, which is where I first learned about you. They're often communicating about these social issues, or at least about people working on them. So I'm curious how you see your art intersecting with this idea of social change or social justice work.
Yeah. I think that where my work comes into play is I tend to focus on self improvement and doing that inner work within yourself. And I think when we focus on that, obviously that trickles out to your community, and it trickles out to all of these different issues and social change that we're trying to do. And I really feel like it always starts within you. And if you're able to do that and make an impact within yourself, you're able to do that with the next person. And I'm a strong believer in reaching a collective higher consciousness. And I think that that's mostly what I'm trying to portray is, you do the work at home and hopefully it trickles to your neighbor. And I don't know, I'm really hoping that that sparks any type of change in our communities.
Absolutely, yeah. And if you're in the metro area, if you haven't checked out Chelsea's work, you'll see it around Denver more. And of course, you can follow her at Chelsea Lewinski on Instagram. We were talking at the live event, Chelsea, about 2020 just being so incredibly difficult for all of us. We're all going through this challenging time, and you think about artists in particular, bringing some, challenging but also hopeful work in this moment. I guess I was going to ask you what's bringing you hope right now. It doesn't have to be related to the art that you do or artists you see, but right now when you think about the world and what we're all going through, what's giving you hope about positive social change in the world?
I think the most hopeful thing that I can see is that despite all of this craziness going on around us, and we've been forced to look at the issues in front of us, and now we can't run from them, and we've been forced to kind of settle in that. And when you do that, when you have no choice but to see it, I think positive change comes from that. And I think that the shift is going in the direction that it needs to because of that. So I am hopeful because I think that we have an opportunity to create waves, and I'm happy that it's happening. You can see it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that, and thank you for the hope you gave us even through just seeing this painting and how you pulled it together, and your thoughts around our work with human trafficking at the Laboratory to Combat Human Trafficking and your support of that issue. It's just hopeful to see how art can connect into that work, especially. So we're grateful for your contribution. As I said earlier, you can check out the full live stream we had, the other artists that were along for the ride earlier this month at combathumantrafficking.org/live. Chelsea Lewinski's piece El Pajaro is up for auction now. If it still is, when you see this, you'll see a link to that on social or wherever we're posting this. And just to close out, Chelsea, again, what's the best way folks can learn more about you, support your art in the future? Where should they go?
You can obviously follow me on social media at Chelsea Lewinski. I have a website, chelsealewinski.com. Shoot me a message or just follow me on social media.
Absolutely, and look for her work if you're here in the metro area and in other places soon. We know Puerto Rico, the project you were just working on recently. Well, maybe we'll hear about what's going on down there in the months ahead. But very cool to see you get some recognition and start to do some of that work more nationally, and who knows beyond that. So really excited that you could be part of our event here, and you can learn more about our work at LCHT at combathumantrafficking.org. Thanks for hanging out today, Chelsea. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.